Bhagavad Gita marathon. Not only we should distribute books, but we should read Prabhupada's books. And we know that how important Bhagavad Gita is for our spiritual lives. So we're going to read chapter 7 on the occasion of Gita Jayanti. We have read till text number 6 so far. I'll quickly read the verses, the first 6 verses, and then we'll start discussing from text 7. श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यासक्तमनः पार्थ योगं युञ्जन्मदाश्रय असंशयं समग्रं मां यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु ज्ञानस्तेऽहं सविज्ञानम् इदं वक्ष्यामि यशेषतः यज्ञात्वा नेह भून्योऽन्यत् ज्ञातव्यम् अवशिष्यते मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये यततामपि सिद्धानां कश्चिन्मां वेत्ति तत्त्वतः भूमिरापो नलो वायुः खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहङ्कार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा अपरियमितस्तन्यं प्रकृतिं विधि मे पराम् जीवभूतमहाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत् एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणि इति उपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयस्ततः मत्तः परतरं नान्यत् किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वम् इदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव. So we will read the entire purport and translation as well for this verse, which is text number 7. Om Namo Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Purport. There is a common controversy over whether the supreme truth is personal or impersonal. As far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse, in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person, that the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth, is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. The supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt about that the absolute truth is the supreme person and the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version given in the Shvetashvara Upanishad 3.10. Tato yat uttarattaram tat arupam anamayam ya etad vidur amritas te bhavanti athetare dukkham ivapiyanti. In the material world, in the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within The universe is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is transcendence, who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. It's a long purport. Maybe some other devotee can read the remaining portion. Anyone would like to read?
Yeah, I can read.
Prabhuji.
Oh, okay.
Prabhuji, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam, but this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Other verses in the Svetashvatara Upanishad 3.8-9 substantiates this as follows. Vedaham etam purusham mahantam adityavannam tamasaha parastat tam eva vidwan atimrityum yati nanya panta vidyate yanyaya yasmat param na param asti kinchit yasman na niyo no jayosti kinchit vriksha iva stabdo divi tastati ekas tenedam purnam purushena sarvam. I know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness, only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There's no way for liberation other than the knowledge of the Supreme Person. There's no truth superior to the Supreme Person because he's the supermost. He's smaller than the smallest and he's greater than the greatest. He's situated as a silent tree and he illumines the transcendental sky, and as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is all pervading by his multi energies, both material and spiritual. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Raghu Prabhu. You have any thoughts, any insights on this verse you want to share?
Well, yeah. I think this verse is stressing that the absolute truth, Krishna is the absolute truth, and he is the supreme absolute truth. And he is a person, but he's totally transcendental. On the other hand, he's also all pervading. He's everywhere. He's just like a tree spreads its roots. He's all pervading, and his all energies extend everywhere. And he's also the holder of both the material as well as the spirit. And although the material qualities, I think we'll see that later, we are bound by that. But if we overcome that and see that there's a transcendental being, if we can understand him, then we can go beyond the material qualities and head in the path of liberation. I think that's what I understand. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Raghu Prabhuji. If we see in the beginning from this chapter, what was the first verse? If we have to summarize in like one or two words or a few, just one or two phrases. The first verse, the emphasis was here. That's Shrinu, right? Hear from Krishna, or the authorities in short. In the second verse, Krishna tells about the Gyan and Vigyan. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshami. So he's telling about Gyan and Vigyan. What is that? Material and spiritual. Phenomenal, numinous. Right? Now, if we go from second to third, he's talking about Jnanam, right? The phenomenal or the material, right? What is that? Um, sorry, that's the third verse talks about the rarity of the devotee who knows. So who knows all this is very, very rare. Many people try to endeavor, but only one knows me in truth, right? And then we discuss that whole table. Now, fourth and fifth, fourth talks about the bhumi, the material elements, and the fifth talks about the aparayastam idam tavanyam, the superior energy, the jiva. And in sixth, Krishna mentions as him as the uh, creator. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani. So now the topic is shifting from the energies to the energetic. Is it not? From the energies mentioned 4 and 5, we come here to the energetic, right? Krishna is that creator. Krishna is that source. Krishna, here, the beautiful example is mentioned. What is the example mentioned? Let's see. The children, they like to make beads, right? Or something with the beads, correct? So let's say we make a garland with some beads. I'm not a garland maker by any means, right? Now these pearls, assume they are pearls. Trust me, they are pearls. Okay. There's a garland or a bracelet or whatever. We can't see something that is the hidden thread which is binding all these pearls. In engineering, we used to draw hidden as dotted line, if you remember. So this is the hidden thread. So basically, we see the energies as pearls, but we forget to see the hand of the energetic. Without the thread, the pearls will not stay together. All these planets, have you ever thought of how come they are floating in the space? Is it not very bewildering or insightful? Right? The sun, moon, and there very lot of precision, rotation, revolution, very, very precise movements are there. So precision means greater intelligence is there, is it not? Precision means there is a expert creator, expert person who has made that system, which is moving in such a speeds, their orbits and whatnot. So that's Krishna. Mata, what's the verse? Mai sarvam idam protram sutre manigana. Manigana. Manigana means groups of pearls are strung around a thread. So everything rests upon me. Matta parataram na anyat. Parataram. Parataram. Parataram na anyat. This is like a superlative degree. Good, better, best. Paratama. Parataram na anyat. Na anya. There's no one else who is superior to me. Now, it's not a question or not a statement Krishna is making of pride. Oh, if someone's I'm the richest person of the US. Well, if he or she is, then it's fine. But if they are artificially boasting about it, just because they may have a little extra than someone, then it's false pride. But when Krishna speaks so, it's not out of false pride, it is basically out of giving clarity. Yes, I am that supreme. Krishna is saying, Matta Paradam Nanyat. I am the hand which is holding all these things together. So he is a person. That's very, very important point. He is not impersonal. The word arupam is used in some scriptures, but arupam means what? We also have a form, right? Man is made in the image of God. We have a form. Now, some people think if God is also form, we have a form, then God is also, like us. His form, he is there, but his form is Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is not made up of blood, mucus, stool, all that is earth, water elements. His form is transcendental, pure goodness, supreme, absolute truth, personality of Godhead. So therefore, he is called Arupam. That means his roop is not like us, like material, or is called sometimes Nirguna. So he is not caught up in these guna of mode of passion, ignorance, etc. So this is text 7, the pearl verse, if you can remember the pearls, and try to see. So devotees try to see how the pearls are strung, how this whole material energy is working by the hidden hand of God. Krishna is explaining that. And one who knows this is the real knower. As we read, where did we read that? Vishnu Stotrini Rupani. You remember that verse? Purusha akhyani atho vidu ekam tu mahata shrishta dvityam tav and samstitam tritiyam sarvabhutastam tani gyatva vimuchyati. One who knows this is the real knower. One who knows who am I, who is God, what's my connection with him. That is real knowledge. That is, and the person who knows this is the real knower. And one who knows this, there's nothing else to be known. Any other thoughts, comments, additions in these verses? Okay, so the following few verses now will explain in more detail how Krishna is all pervasive, right? He's saying, I am, everything rests upon me, right? Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung around the thread. So now we'll see the hand of God in every aspect of life, and so that we ordinary beings can also try to connect and relate to those things and try to see that hidden hand of God or Krishna. Yes, text 8. Oh, sorry. Anyone wants to read text 8?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Text 8. Dhanavat Pranam to all the devotees. Text 8. Rasoham apsu kaunteya pravasmi shashi surayaho pranavaha sarva vedeshu sabdah khe paurusham rasho. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's disciple ki jai and Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Purport: this verse explains how the Lord is all pervasive by his diverse material and spiritual energies. The Supreme Lord can be preliminary perceived by his different energies, and in this way he is realized impersonally. As the demigod in the sun is a person and is perceived by his all pervading energy, the sunshine, so the Lord, although in his eternal abode, is perceived by his all pervading diffusive energies. The taste of water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink seawater because the pure taste of water is mixed with salt. Attraction of water depends on the purity of the taste, and this pure taste is one of the energies of the Lord. The impersonalist perceives the presence of the Lord in water by its taste, and the personalist also glorifies the Lord for his kindly supplying tasty water to quench man's thirst. That is the way of perceiving the Supreme. Practically speaking, there is no conflict between personalism and impersonalism. One who knows God knows that the impersonal conception and personal conception are simultaneously present in everything, and that there is no contradiction. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya established his sublime doctrine, Achinta Veda and Aveda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference. Should I read, Prabhu, or stop?
Yeah, you can complete just a few lines or
The
less.
light of the sun and the moon is also originally emanating from the Brahma Jyotir, which is the impersonal effulgence of the Lord, and Pranava, or the Omkara, transcendental sound in the beginning of every Vedic hymn, addresses the Supreme Lord. Because the impersonalists are very much afraid of addressing the Supreme Lord Krishna by his innumerable names, they prefer to vibrate the transcendental sound Omkara, but they do not realize that Omkara is the sound representation of Krishna. The jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is blessed. Those who do not know Krishna are in illusion, and so knowledge of Krishna is liberation, and ignorance of him is bondage. Back to the Jai Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Any comments, any thoughts you have on this verse 7.8?
So, Prabhuji, it's very deep purport, but so my understanding is here in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining the difference between the impersonalism and personalism and their realization of Lord Krishna. So, impersonalism, their angle of viewing the Krishna, the Brahma Jyoti, is partial. But who are the personalist, like bhaktas? They want to know Krishna not only through their illusion, but they want to serve Krishna, and that's why they're the water. When the analogy with the water, the salt water test, and the pure test of water. So that's why they want to know through the knowledge. The Gyanis and Yogis, they want to know Krishna through their knowledge. But the personalism means who wants to know Krishna with love and devotion. That's my understanding, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. From text 8 onwards, Krishna gives multiple, avenues or so that everyone can try to understand how Krishna is all pervasive, right? So what are the analogies or understandings given? And the taste of water. Rasoham apasu kaunteya. Bhumir apa. Bhumir apo nalovayu. So rasoham apasu apa or apa kaunteya. O Kunti Putra, I am the rasa. Rasa means taste. I am that taste in water. What else? Prabhashmi. Shashi. Surya. Shashi means moon. Surya. Surya we all know. Prabhas. Light.
Bright,
And the
yeah.
light sun and the moon, or the brightness, or the effulgence. Pranava. Pranava is the syllable Om. Sarva Vedishu, amongst all the Vedic scriptures, Om Keshavaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, Om Madhavaya Nama, Om Govinda. Basically, and the essence. Without the pranava, it doesn't. No mantra begins. Shabda K. Shabda means sound, right? K. What does K mean? Anyone knows a word with the word K? K Chari. Remember K Chari?
Uska, who can fly like the sky.
K Chari.
Putana. Putana.
Putana. Yes. K Chari. Putana. Nishachar. Have you heard the word Nishachar? People who.
Yes. Yes.
Who,
Owl.
Owl. Yes. Active in the night. Moving around in the night. Nisha means night. So K means ether. Khaga, the word khaga are birds, right? Who fly. So Shabda K. Paurusham Nishu. Nr is basically humans or man. Paurusham. Paurusham means strength, ability, qualities. So these are the 5 things mentioned here, right? Water and the taste. What else? Anyone recalls? The light of sun and moon. Third,
Omkar.
Omkar in the Vedas. Very nice. Number 4, the sound in the ether, Shabda K.
Yeah.
And number 5,
Strength. Strength, right?
Paurusham Nishu,
Power.
the abilities of the humans or these the 5 things mentioned. Rasoham apasukanteya prabhashmi shashishureo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake paurusham drishu. The 5 elements are mentioned. His Holiness Bhakti, His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj, I remember when he came, which year was that? I don't recall. 2-3 years back. We all had a very nice time. He came, and his wonderful bottle he had, right? It was mentioned, Rasoham Apsukante. And the taste of water. So this is how, devotees try to remember Krishna everywhere. Of course, we remember Krishna during chanting, reading Gita, etc., etc. But even though an experience of drinking water, we all drink water maybe 10 times a day or more, right? Or should at least. Everyone encourages to drink more water these days. How many times you're able to remember Krishna? So this so-called very mundane act, right? Drinking water will help us to be cognizant of the Lord's presence. That, oh, Krishna is saying, Rasohamapasukante, I'm the taste of water. It's Krishna who gives the taste to everything. His hand is there. He is the hidden hand in every aspect. All we need is the vision to see. If we have the right vision, then we'll be able to see the hand of God in every aspect of life. If we don't have the right vision, Krishna himself will be standing amongst us or right in front of us, and we'll say, oh, he's just some black magic or just some ordinary person like Duryodhana. Krishna was there right in front of him, but he couldn't see. This is the cultivating that eye of devotion. Premanja churita bhakti vilochanena. To cultivate those eyes. And these These things help to cultivate. As Prabhupada is mentioning here, there is no conflict between personalism and impersonalism. Mm. In one way, there is no conflict. We understand that, yes, God can exist in multifarious energies. Yes, He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, but all His energies are also there, right? For example, if someone negates that, no, 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 His energy is everything. Forget about Him. No, that's wrong. We respect water, right? We should not waste water. We should properly utilize water because it's Krishna's energy. And we respect the water bodies. We should respect the water bodies. We respect the sun and the moon because they are Krishna's eyes, actually mentioned in the Brahma Samhita. Mhm. We respect the Omkar syllable. If someone is chanting Om, we respect them, right? Give them the respect. No, no, say you are impersonalist. Get out of here. We respect them, but at the same time, we don't stop everything and say, hey, Sunday, everything, moon, everything, stop everything. We'll from tomorrow, we will become International Society for Sun Consciousness, right? Because ultimately, sun is the energy of the Lord. No, that's where it's not a complete understanding, or it's not the fully correct understanding. Hmm. We respect sun as Krishna's energy. We respect Surya Dev. We respect Indra Dev, Chandra, etc. But in connection to Krishna, that's Krishna consciousness. In connection to Krishna, that's personalism, which includes all the other sub aspects also. Similarly, Paurusham Nishu, let's focus on that. Abilities in man. Now, Krishna has given everyone different abilities, right? Someone is good in singing, someone is good in studying, someone is good in music, someone is good in some sports, right? Cricket or football or some other, right? Soccer. Someone is a great doctor, right? They have been blessed with those abilities to heal others, like our dear Baldev Prabhu. Hmm. To treat other patients, right? It's also a great ability. Someone is good in making programs like Shilpa Mataji and Subala Prabhu, coding and making so many softwares and hardwares, right? So these are all different abilities God has given us. So one devotee was sharing, we should never feel envious of others' abilities. Oh, he has more intelligence. Oh, he has or she has more, whatever, right? We can put that um, cooking or singing, this or that. So many abilities Krishna has differently abled everyone. If we are feeling envious of someone's abilities, actually we are envious of God. Because Krishna is saying, Paurusham Nishu, I am that ability in the man. So we should never feel envious of, of, of anyone's abilities. Rather, we should see the hand of God. Wow, Krishna is so amazing. He has given this person such amazing intelligence to do so many things. Wow, Krishna is so amazing. May Krishna give him more. May Krishna bless him more. Right? And we all know that in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it was not that Arjuna who fought. It was Arjuna was empowered by Krishna. Hmm. And when Krishna wrapped up his pastime, the very Arjuna, the very Gandiva, the same bows, the same chariot, everything was same. Arjuna was defeated. Why? His Paurusha, his abilities were gone because his abilities was Krishna. So it's a great lesson again that when we think, no, 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 I am doing this, Krishna will teach us lesson. Paurusham Nishu. So firstly, we should not be proud if Krishna has given us some ability. Rather, we should feel blessed that Krishna has given us something so we can use in his service. That's point one. Number two, we should not feel envious of others' abilities because ultimately that's also Krishna. Hmm. So I really like these points. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? In this verse 7 or 8? Okay, let's read text 9. Would someone like to read text number 9?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. I'll try Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam devotees. Text 9. Punyo Gandha Prativyam cha Chetas Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasu Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu Tapas Chasmi Tapasvisu Tapas Chasmi Tapasvisu. I'm the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. I'm the original fragrance of the earth, and I'm the heat in fire. I'm the life of all that lives, and I'm the penances of all ascetics, penances of all ascetics. Correct, Prabhuji. Okay. Purport. Punya means that which is not composed. Punya is original. Everything in the material world has a certain fragrance, and the fragrance, as the fragrance in a flower or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated fragrance, the original fragrance, which permeates everything, is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So everything has some original fragrance and taste. Vibhavasu means fire. Without fire, we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat is the fire. The heat in the fire is Krishna. According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to low temperature in the belly. So even for digestion, fire is needed. In Krishna consciousness, we become aware that earth, water, fire, air, and every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to Krishna. The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll just add 2 sentences, Prabhuji. You will explain it so beautifully, word to word. So I'll just add what I just read, understood. So I was actually thinking about the previous text, Prabhuji, before reading, and I was just contemplating to think whether Krishna is telling about using the Panchabhutas, and is if he trying to tell, he was telling the water, taste, sun, so water, earth, water, fire, is he trying to include them in the text 8 is what I'm contemplating. And then in text 9, he's already saying it here. And Prabhupada already clearly is saying that everything has an origin, and that origin is the Panchabhutas, right? And those Panchabhutas are Krishna himself. Like earth is Krishna, water is Krishna, fragrance, taste, everything is Krishna. So I was listening to His Grace Pran Govind Prabhu's class earlier and about this text. And then if we can take a small example, a tree, for example, and from there, or somebody was saying a pencil, for example. How did that pencil come? It's wood. And again, how did the wood come? Again, a tree. How did the tree come? Again, a seed. How did the seed come? The Krishna gives that seed, right? Ultimately, it goes back to. So wherever we think, it goes back to Krishna. Without Krishna, without that origin, so-called creations or discoveries, we would be thinking that I discovered, but it's already discovered. We are trying to uh, name it for ourselves in this material world. Please correct Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing your wonderful reflections on this beautiful verse. The natural fragrance of earth. I think we all have at least at some point experienced, if we see maybe an earthen pot, or you have been to some village setting, and that fragrance of earth, or in open land, and then there is some mild rain, we feel that fragrance. Or maybe you can feel that in the earthen pot, especially you put some water over it, then really there is that fragrance. That's a natural sweet fragrance of the earth. Mm. Similarly, the fire. Mm. The heat in the fire. So fire's nature is heat, is it not? All these big factories, these thermal power plants. I used to work for NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. It was all based on heat, like burn coal and use that heat to turn the turbines, and turbines then generate electricity. So much heat generated, so much. Like we cannot imagine like the extent of the coal they put and the megawatts of electricity generated, all because of heat, such a critical element, thermal energy. Where is it all coming from? It's again, that is Krishna. So the next aspect is the Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu. Jivanam. Krishna is the life of all that lives. That's such a beautiful. The soul and the super soul, they're always present. So, without Krishna, as we know, there is no Jiva, right? The two birds on the same tree. So that's it. Krishna is the active principle, as mentioned here, right? So anything and everything, whether it's the tiniest of the atoms, Andantarastascha Paramanu Charantaras, or is the big, gigantic Timingala fish, or in modern days we can say blue whale, or whatever big whales, or big buildings, big skyscrapers, or big factory, big house, big car, big anything you say, there is connection of Lord. Because ultimately it's coming from, as Mataji said, earth, water, fire, air, ether. It's just a combination of those different those elements, which are actually Krishna's creation. So not only the animate, not only the inanimate, but also the animate. Not only just like material objects like pen, pencil, but also the Jivanam Sarva Bhutana. There are 8.4 million species. Krishna is the active principle there also. Tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Tapasya. Tapasya is very important, right? Tapasya, it will come in chapter 17. What kind of tapasya? What should be the tapasya? Why to do tapasya? But ultimately, if anyone is doing tapasya, especially for Krishna conscious reasons, and which we must do, so we must understand actually Krishna is that. So Krishna is giving me strength to do tapasya, not on my own. Who am I to do any tapasya? Right? So Krishna, we can pray to Krishna. Krishna, you are the penance of all the ascetics. Now, different people do tapasya for different reasons, but we're talking about Krishna conscious or mode of goodness, satagun, pure goodness, tapasya. So ultimately, without tapasya, we cannot get Krishna. In the material world, also say, oh, no pain, no gain, right? Right. Even the jap is a great tap, right? Even japa is great tapa, right? It's a great tapasya actually, is it not? To mind will say, check the phone. Mind will say, hey, what's for breakfast or lunch or this? Mind will say, hey, let me reply to him or her. Hey, mind will say, let me do my homework or project or office. Or the mind will say so many things, but to not do it, tapasya. What is tapasya? Tapasya means to do something which is beneficial for us, even though we don't want to do it. That's tapasya in short. We know it's good for us, but we somehow don't want to do it. But still we do it because as the intelligence says, so not listen to the mind, but listen to the intelligence. And it helps in our Krishna consciousness. That's tapasya. Right? So we should pray to Krishna to give us the strength to do that tapasya for the right reasons. And if someone is doing that, that's also Krishna. So we should not be proud of one's tapasya, not be offended by others' tapasya also. Because ultimately, this whole chapter, and of course, other chapters like chapter 10 and others also, if we can learn one thing from these, is basically try to see the hand of God in every aspect of life, in every situation of life, in every individual with whom we meet, in every material, apparently just silly thing, a pen or water or cup or anything, right? But if we can try to connect or link it to Krishna, that's great. In a personal way. That's Krishna consciousness. Any other thoughts, any comments anyone has? It's almost time, so we'll not cover new verse, but if someone has a quick comment or a question, you can please feel free to share before we wrap up for today. If anyone would like to add anything or share something, any inspirations or insights or thoughts you want to share with everyone. Okay, thank you. We'll pause here and continue tomorrow. Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai. Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyev cha. Tatanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Bol, Prabhu.